have a couple of announcements. We're going to have a real nice lunch for you. Then we're going to present the awards, finish up with the raffle drawing. There are a lot of great prizes, as you can see. The money raised goes to our scholarship, which we give every year, so as much as we can give, that's good. When you buy the tickets, for those of you that haven't bought any tickets, so we'll be buying them, put them in the various bags here, and then we'll have the drawing at the end of the lunch. I want to also thank everyone who donated for the goodie bags at Santaland. We had a very successful Santaland. We raised about $700 for social services. And there's a couple of leftovers over on the table, so if you want to pick up something like pens and goodies.
Foams,
crayons. I'm sure everybody would like to have crayons. So it was a really good time. We have a lot to go on today with our awards and presentations and all that other good stuff. So, but the first thing is, Ken, you want to make an announcement about the Business Beyond Basics?
I think Rod was going to do it.
Sure. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Hi, folks. I'm Rod Wally. I'm the library director here at Roxbury, and here to announce that the upcoming new series called Business Beyond Basics that's produced jointly by the Chamber of Commerce and the library is going to be starting this January. The Business Beyond Basics series will provide continuing education programs that bring business and community together to network, learn, and advance. It'll be more of an opportunity to have education programs with a lot more time that are a lot more paced than we're able to do at the luncheons here. The first presentation will be Medical Marijuana, What's a New Jersey Employer to Do? And it will be at the library on January 22nd at 8 a.m. Speaker Emily Bordens, an employment attorney, will discuss what is specifically required with the recent amendments to New Jersey's medical marijuana law and how it affects the workplace. And there'll be information on how to sign up for that out soon, and hopefully we'll see some of you there. Thank you. We're going to do some lunch so that everybody can get their lunch.
All right, so thank you very much for being short today. All right, we're going to have the installation of, first of all, our executive board. Before I get to who's the new executive board, any past presidents that are in the room, please stand up. Past presidents, where we are today. Thank you very much. All right, our executive board for next year, I'll start with Valerie, who will be our treasurer. Yeah, come on. Andrea Rodriguez is our second VP. Bill Clinton. Not that Bill Clinton, our first VP, and I believe he wasn't able to make it today. And next year's president, as he just said, Bruce Griffin. Congratulations. 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 And I'm still standing. I'll be the... Oh, I'm not going anywhere yet.
Nick's not going anywhere. Nick did spend 2 years as our president, which is great. It's a huge, daunting task to be the president of the chamber. 2 years is a real daunting task, but he did a terrific job for us. We really appreciate all of his efforts. You've seen a lot of the programming that has happened, and we just want to say thank you so much for having given your time and your efforts. This is very much appreciated by the board and the chamber and the town, because the chamber is all about helping our town grow, especially the businesses in town. So again, Nick, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, and I had a good time doing it. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think that the chamber was necessary and what we do and all the activities that we do. Thank you very much. All right, the next installation will be the board members. The way we work it in the chamber, you call the class of whatever year, and you're on the board for 3 years. And there's some members, and that's to stagger the board members so that you have a constant group going in. So this year, the class of 2022. Before I do that, though, well, the current board members, please stand up. So, class of 2022, Valerie, oh, you might as well just. Randy Williams, Randy, I know you're here. Linda Kershaw. Our newest member.
Our newest member.
I'm out of here.
He's out of here.
Thank you very much, board members. I'm sure we'll have a very good. On their agenda is the Beautification Award. These awards that are given to whatever businesses, beautification in and around the town, to their outside. We do it sometimes to the inside. Before I do that, is there any past recipients of the Beautification Award? Not here. Already here. Anyhow. And it's this year we can give as many as we want. This year we're giving two awards. We go through this at the board meeting, you know, what do you think? And some of them haven't been finished their projects yet, so we didn't quite have them come in, and some of them have finished their projects and they are beautiful. So the first Beautification Award is going to be to the Township of Roxbury for Horseshoe Lake Field. So with the officials from the township. Okay, again, congratulations. What I want you to each do is introduce yourself and recreation.
Yeah.
Give us a little talk about what transpired out there.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce Fred, the deputy mayor, who really was welcome. Who really was a driving force for getting the phase one of the Horseshoe Lake project done. But I want to also just talk about the partnership between Roxbury and the business community. This is really important, and the work that's being done through the council, but also through our Economic Development Commission, has, I think, really paid off in a number of different ways. And you can see all that development going on around town. But I also want to thank you, the business community in Roxbury, because you're always there. You always rise to the occasion, and you create this very healthy business environment in Roxbury, which is so important. And so we want to thank you for that, and I want to thank you for this Beautification Award. Of course, the Horseshoe Lake is one of the real jewels of Roxbury, and which helps attract residents and businesses into our town. And so that's why we're willing to make those kinds of investments in Roxbury. And I'm going to turn it over to, I also want to mention that none of this gets done without the dedicated work from our township staff. We have some of the best people working on things like the turf field and the redevelopment of Horseshoe Lake. So, John, please let our staff know that much of this award gets attributed to them. Again, Fred was a driving force on the Recreation Commission. There are lots of people that have to be involved, but without Fred, and there were lots of ups and downs on whether or not this project would take place. If it wasn't for Fred, it would not have occurred. So I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Mayor Fred Hall.
I think that Bob said it best. I would use the word life support as it relates to this project. It's really nice that we're getting this beautification award. What's nice is it's coupled with functionality. We on recreation, and I've been on recreation now for 20 years, have a plan, and that plan has gone through the entire scope of Roxbury Township. You folks have seen Landing Recreation Field. We've been up in that area. That was one of our projects, as well as many, many others. You know, the opening up of the trail and back to Horseshoe Lake, things of that nature. So this has been in the works for quite some time. For the last 2 years, we've been working on this, and what's really great about this is not only is it serving a tremendous function. First of all, who's actually been out there to actually see the field or have kids that are playing on the field? Or wow, okay. For those people that have, I think you know what I'm talking about. For those people that haven't, you should take the opportunity to go out and actually see it, because kids just love it. So we're serving a purpose, and I think the mayor said it best when he opened the field up a few months ago, that this is an investment in our kids, and I think it really is. What's even better about this is when we worked with the Board of Education back in 2010 to put in the turf field there, we realized at that point that, you know, this isn't going to be the only turf field that's going to be necessary within Roxbury Township. And the good news is that field was used heavily. The bad news is that it was used overly heavily. I guess is the best way to put it. So we needed to do something else. This project was not just a turf field. New lights. If you notice, there was grading done for the other two grass fields. Why did we do that? Because if you ever played on them, there was a lot of ruts. So we were able to put those in there. We were able to extend the parking lot. There was a lot of things that went into this phase one. As the mayor had mentioned also, we have other phases that are coming down the line. So we were on life support with this for quite some time because we had a certain number that we were trying to hit each time. At the end of the day, we were able to hit that number. Our contractor came in without a single change order. Thank God. Okay.
That's like pretty impossible, but that's awesome.
So we managed to come under by a certain amount of money, which managed to help us irrigate one of the other fields, which means we can bring them back online quicker for the kids. So that worked out extremely well. We were also helped by the fact that a few mistakes were made with, you know, the pellets that you have to put on the ground. We don't have the standard scenario at that field. We have a real state-of-the-art field, a 3-tiered system. You have sand, a little bit of crumb rubber, and then you have this thing called cool clay that's on top of it. We didn't think we could afford the cool clay, but it was a mistake was made, and they actually delivered that, and they managed to put that down, and we're not going to argue with it.
There you go.
Now, the cool clay is great for the kids because what that does is it reduces the field temperature by 30 degrees. So you don't think much of it for us big people, but for your little person, when you close the ground and you feel the heat coming up, it makes it a real big difference. With this, that's not the case. So we got the best possible field at the lowest possible cost at the township. And even better than that, we thought about this back in 2010 and set up a recreation trust. So we managed to save between $650,000 to $700,000 in that off of recreation fees, and the remainder of those fees will pay it off, so there's no impact to the taxpayers at all with this entire project. So again, I just want to reiterate one thing that Bob had said. You know, this wasn't the Fred show. We have a recreation advisory group of advisors, second to none. We had some help from the schools. The schools came in and helped us out with this. I can't say enough about John Shepard and his staff, not only getting things done, but also putting up with me during this process. It was pretty intensive time. But look at the results. Just go out to Horseshoe Lake, take a sport, sit down and watch. It's great. Thank you so much.
The Roxbury Area Chamber of Commerce presents the 2019 Roxbury Business Beautification Award for the Horseshoe Lake Turf Field to the Township of Roxbury. Now, John, I want to see this in a permanent spot. When I open the door, I want to see that right there.
You're bustling over where it's gonna be.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, our next award. The next award is to the Lake of Patcon Foundation. They took over that railroad station, and believe me, as an engineer, maybe even Ken can tell you, I've had many clients come in and wonder what could they do with that building? Could they do this? Could they do that? And usually when they found out stuff what that cost, they say no. But then I was happy to see that Marty and the Lake of Patcon Foundation came in. They took it over. They made it good. They made it nice. I haven't been inside yet. I understand it's really beautiful inside. And Marty's trying to get us to have one of our luncheons there, which we will work on that. So, Marty, whoever else.
I'm going to say a couple of quick words and then turn it over to Marty, because I do want to say that there was a phone call probably in the summer of 2013 when we were only a 2-year-old organization, and Marty called to say, do you think maybe we can get this building? There was a risk that it was going to be torn down, all this stuff, and we were a very young organization, and it was a little scary to take on the building, but this was collectively our board and our staff all put a lot into this, but nobody was at the center of it more than Marty, so I just want to make sure, and he's not going to sing his own praises enough, so I want to make sure that he gets his praises sung before I'm sure we'll talk more about what went into the building and our volunteers. But Marty is the driving force behind it, and we're very, very fortunate to now have our own space. We miss our view. We used to overlook the lake, but we have a lovely building of our own, and we're so happy to be in Roxbury, and we're very thrilled to be where we are, and it's going to get even better once this bridge project is done and everything gets cleaned up on the outside. But I'll turn it over to Marty.
Thanks, Jess. Yeah, it's over 5 years since I think we first came before you folks here at the Chambers. Was one of the first things to say we bought the old train station and we're going to turn it into our headquarters and a community center. And over that period, you folks and the whole business community has been so supportive. And I have to say, Roxbury has been incredible to work with. John and his predecessor and the mayors over that period and council have just been so supportive to us. And it's been really great, to put our feet down permanently in Roxbury. It was hard to give up the view next to the windlass, looking out down the lake the long way, and convince them that this was a smart move. Like now in the winter, we can look out, I think, one window and see Landing Channel. So we still say we have that lake view. But it is really, we were just talking about the other day, working out so well for us to have a permanent home and identity. And the outside of the building we can't take that much credit for, because Bob O'Donnell and his crew and the building itself was just like amazing, the construction that was done. The outside we actually did completely with volunteers, which we're very proud of, and actually everybody at this table has volunteered at some point or another, whatever their role was. Ron has been, he always gets mad when I give him titles for whatever he does, but he's been the tea cook and bottle washer, basically, of keeping that site going. Whenever anybody needed to be there, he was there. And Ron used to be head of public works at Picatinny, so I knew right where to go. For my guys, it was like Ron was public works, Lee was like civilian welfare. You guys did it with a big organization, and it was like great to get him to do it for a smaller organization. And somehow Bill Woolley fell into our laps. Bill is like unbelievable. It's like, it's only been 98 degrees. I'm sure we can build that berm along Landing Road. And he's been great. A journalist in his prior life. We just get really great people that have worked with us on this. The staff and our board have been so supportive. It's just been, really great. Holly, Sharon, Roberta. So thank you. Thank you all for this. The outside of the building really was just like something. It's evolved as we've gone through. We now have 2 gardens. Please come visit our gardens. We have a mass planting garden, and we have a specimen garden, and a walkway that goes all through them, and it's only gonna grow. We have 5 American chestnut trees that will hopefully restart in this area the whole idea of the American chestnut. We're still holding on to our 1 ash tree that we will not give up until it falls down. The community, there again, one of our local merchants treats it every 2 years, so hopefully we'll keep it. But the bigger thing, I think, is the programming that Jess and her team, you couldn't ask for a better executive director, are starting to put together so that the whole community, I think, you know, we're kind of doing a program a month now. We're going to have trains coming in. The next 2 weekends, we're going to have model trains, which actually, the mayor has actually been helping us with tremendously. He's a model train guy in his other life. So, you know, that's the whole thing, is to make this a place where the whole community has a place to go. And, you know, I think 5 or 10 years from now, when people think it was there forever, that we'll know we achieved our goal.
I misspoke, it was 2014, right? It's been 5 years, and I'm very excited to see where we are in 5 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I swear, as soon as they build that bridge, we will pave our parking lot. Everybody tells us we'd be crazy to pave it now because the road's going to be going up about 6 feet, and it's going to be a bit of a slope when the whole thing gets done. So we apologize in advance that our parking lot could look a little bit better, but you don't want to waste. Yeah. So, but thank you very, very much.
Stop in and visit.
Yes, please. Now we're going to host the entire group for lunch. We'll get one of the local merchants to bring the food. We promise not to cook.
We have a plaque for you. It's the Roxbury Area Chamber of Commerce presents the 2019 Roxbury Business Beautification Award to the Lake Apacon Foundation. Thank you very much. You know, you want to see.
You gotta show up.
Huh?
You gotta show up.
Hey, I know. Well, tell me when you get it up, I'll come over.
Hold that 1 second. Thank you.
Right, we're getting more pictures over there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Our next award, well, first of all, our next award is for the Business Person of the Year. So, first thing I want to know, anybody that has received this award, please stand up and be recognized. This is a prestigious award given to the person who has shown doing things in Roxbury Township and helping the community, both in their professional careers and also after being on the board or being in the chamber. Really a great award. This year's recipient is Mr. Ken Fox from Fox Architectural. Little bio from Ken, celebrating his 32nd year in business at Fox Architectural Design, and he's proud to have been served not only as his clients but the community as well. Ken found his love for architecture in drafting class in high school, and he earned a Bachelor of Art degree from the New Jersey Institute of Technology School of Architecture in 1981. And then he served as an apprentice with a number of the firms in Morris and Essex County. Started Fox Architectural Design, PC, in 1987. Quickly learned that contractors are his best salesmen. He gained a reputation in the builder community as being a blue-collar architect. Having grown up in a blue-collar family, helped him to understand the team approach to satisfying clients and getting things done. Ken's extremely proud of his involvement in the education of children. He's been a member of the Morris Hills Regional High School District Vocational Advisory Committee for almost 35 years. He served as County Colleges of Morris Design Department as an advisor in developing curriculum and criteria for students entering the vocational and professional services of the construction industry. He's been persistent in the Esteemed Advisory Board at the School of Architecture at NJIT, an attempt to mentor aspiring architects and how to better serve not only their clients but their community. It is taught at the County College of Mars and other educational programs while mentoring young people has been the center of his career. Ken has also been on the board, member of the Housing Partnership of New Jersey. He's a past president of Jefferson Township Rotary Club. He's a board member of the Housing Partnership of Morris County. He's on the Roxbury Historical Advisory Committee as chairman. Leadership of Morris Alumni Board, Lake Apacon Foundation Trail Volunteer, Appalachian Trail Con. He has a number of awards. Yeah. Number of awards. He's a Paul Harris Fellow in the Rotary Club. He's the 2015 NAHB National Award for Certified Green Professional. 2018 Ironman Award by Metropolitan Builders and Contractors Association of New Jersey, and 2019 Boy Scouts of America Morris County Lifetime Achievement Award. Personally, Ken is the father of 4, 3 boys, 2 of which are twins, and 1 girl. He's the grandfather of 6 boys and a baby girl. Takes great pride in watching the children grow into responsible adults with careers, and he looks forward to the many days in the outdoors with his grandchildren. And I got to say, personally also, at the board of directors, Ken is there. He has very good insight, like his, helping us and keeping the board sometimes straight on the straight and narrow. Ken, very good. The Roxbury Area Chamber of Commerce presents 2019 Business Person of the Year Award to Ken A. Fox of Architectural Design, DC. Congratulations.
Don't forget Pam and I'll turn the other one. Thank you. Good.
Well, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot to say. I think I said
Really?
it all.
It's a little too busy.
Yeah, I'm a busy person. I realized actually I mentioned there the one award I got an award this past spring. I had my mother's sister came and saw the award, so I was able to, which I'm going to do right now, say that I got a lot of this from my mother. She was a Girl Scout leader, softball coach, volunteer, everything. Bicentennial quilt. She put the whole thing together in Rockland Township. So I get a lot from my mother, but what we teach in networking here and everywhere else is relationships. It's all about relationships. And they build your business, they build your personal life, they build your company. I have great employees that just, I can't even say that they work hard. They do amazing stuff. They just continuously work. Talk about, we don't have a coffee pot in the office. They don't get up off their chairs long enough to get coffee. But I have great staff, and that really helps me have the time to go out and do what I do what I love, and that's I love to volunteer. I love to do stuff, and so I appreciate the people that are on the board here at the chamber. It is a great board. It's a great town. I brought my kids up here, and I'm just thankful for the relationships I have here, and how it leads to business, but it leads to just how to live my life, and look forward to doing more. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the end of our awards. We will be, don't leave, we will be having the raffles.
We're going to give 5 more minutes if you have any tickets, or if you
We'll
want to
give
put
you
it
5
in
more
the basket.
minutes to buy your
And then
raffle
buy your
tickets.
tickets, get the tickets in, and we'll start
Put them
drawing.
in, and then you'll start. pulling the
Timer's
tickets.
on now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. So while we're waiting for that, buy your tickets and
Hello?
again, talk amongst yourselves.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.